studied plant-based nutrition, and thank you for your time, and let's welcome Jeff to start.
Thank you guys for coming. I was driving here, and on my way here, I saw there was the fraternity house that says, what does it say on there? This house is vegan. Is that your guys' house? That's pretty sweet. So how many days have you guys been doing this so far? 1.5. 1.5? So the cholesterol's already down, you're always losing tons of weight and everything, yeah. No, don't be surprised though, stuff can happen that, really, really fast. I mean, within a couple of weeks, you could be seeing some amazing stuff happen. And I also drove by and saw this place called Red Rum Burger. I was like, it kind of reminded me of the Heart Attack Grill in Las Vegas, because it's like a self-fulfilled prophecy. They call it something, kind of knowing that it's bad for you. But I thought it was kind of ironic, but good for you guys. So my presentation is called Vegan Bodybuilding, the Way of the Future. And why is it the way of the future? Well, after the Industrial Revolution, the man has done a lot of great, incredible things to, I guess, give us more comfort and more ease in our life and make life more comfortable. But in the wake of that, there's been a lot of destruction. And we're really feeling that in this day and age. So what you guys are doing, who's in the fraternity? Like you guys in the front row? And anybody else? And you? Well, we have some turnout. But what you guys are doing is pretty incredible because, I don't know, I mean, you're brave. You're doing something that not many people are doing. And I want to ask you guys a couple questions real quick first. Is that cool? When you heard, like before this challenge, had you heard the word veganism, what were your thoughts about it? Like, what did you think of that word, and did it have any kind of connotation to you?
I guess the kind of connotation I feel like we had was like vegetarian.
Okay. Yeah. What about you?
For me, I generally like to eat healthy anyways.
Yeah.
I sort of thought it was going to, like he said, an extreme level of
Right.
healthiness.
Right. Right. And
Well, one time I was trying to be nice, and I brought my coworker a cup of coffee, and then she said, "I'm vegan, I can't drink that." And I was pretty upset. $5.
oh, because there was milk in it.
Yeah, there was milk in it, and I was like, "Here you go."
Yeah, I had a buddy at the gym. I was training the other day, and a buddy of mine's there. He's actually a pastor at one of the churches nearby, and it's like, we got to go out and hang out one day. He's like, yeah, we'll go out and get some coffee. He said, some vegan coffee. I'm like, yeah, the kind that doesn't have any eggs in it. So he kind of made a joke of that. But what I want to talk about today is my transformation. That's kind of going to be part of my speech because I was always an athlete. I went to Sac State 25 years ago. I'm pushing 50 years old. So I'm a 46-year-old husband and father of 2 kids. And I went plant-based and vegan. They're the same and different. Vegan is the ethical, plant-based is the health and nutrition. I went for the health first. I want to talk about how I went from this to that in under 5 months. So all on plant food. So I went to the gym and I was training. And what I noticed with all my training was my recovery was faster. I recovered much quicker. My joint inflammation and my pain was going away, which made training a lot easier. And what happens when you recover quicker from the gym, from a stressful workout? What can you do more of? Work out, right? So if you work out and it takes you 2 days to recover instead of 3 days to recover, you can go back to the gym sooner, right, and hit those same muscle groups. So what I noticed was that I was able to work out more. I was able to train harder because for some reason, the diet that I was eating was very anti-inflammatory and allowed my body to actually heal itself. So my vegan bodybuilding transformation, I've done 2. This is my most recent one. The one I did last year, I was doing just gradually. I just wanted to put some muscle and see where I could go with it. I was making my YouTube videos. Everything was cool. But I was at a gymnastics facility about 6-7 months ago. And a young boy, they knew I was vegan there because I was coaching over there for a little while. And a young boy came up to me and he said, my parents told me that I need to eat meat to bulk up. And he knows me. And he knows my condition. He knows what shape I'm in. And I looked at him and he says, well, it's obviously not true. I was very kind. He's, you know, an 8-year-old kid. But as soon as he said that, something switched in me. And I said, I have to do everything I can to put on as much muscle as I possibly can to make an impression, because the body speaks. We're in a very physical, visual world, and the body speaks. I don't do this for my own sake. I don't do this so that I can go around and you know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I like it. I like the way that it looks. I liked it. It was more vain when I was younger because I was getting a lot of attention for it. I do this for the sake of the cause now. My purpose is more, altruistic is the word. It's not really about me. So I got a coach, I got a program, and I went on this bodybuilding journey that started 6 months ago. I put on 15 pounds within the first 5 months. I'm still on my way up. I want to go about 10 pounds more, and I'm going to talk to you about a little bit more about how I did that. But I want to get through some more stuff real quick. I was in Costco about a week ago, and one of the first things I saw when I walked in was this huge stack of protein drinks. And I want to know if anybody, can you guys see this well? What's wrong with this picture? Is there anything that stands out to you? If it does, raise your hand and let me know what it is. I mean, underneath the caramel it says naturally and artificially flavored, but what else might stand out to you? Anyone? Do you guys see the green corner up there? What does it say there? Can you guys read it? Is it clear? No artificial growth hormones. Okay, so what does that mean to you? When someone comes in there unknowingly, and they obviously have no concept of plant-based veganism, whatever, they're going to go in there and go, oh, cool, no artificial growth hormones. That's great. My protein powder or my protein drink is hormone-free. But we all know that that's not true. We also live next to a cow farm, right? So we also know that in order to create milk, a cow has to be pregnant. Right? So what's happening in a woman's or a female's body when they're pregnant? What's going on in there? All kinds of hormones. And then the calf comes out, and they're drinking baby calf growth hormone. Right? So the fact that there's no artificial growth hormones in this product says nothing to me. I walked in, I took a picture, I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is just simple advertising. The industries are smart, and they will fool you and those that you know. Anybody in here not vegan or just interested or whatever? Thank you for coming. That's awesome. So I want you guys to be aware that when you see a product and it says something like this, it's designed to make you feel good about something that's not so good and not so healthy. So just be aware of certain things. This stuff is filled with incredible amount of growth hormone. It's designed to grow a baby calf into a huge animal in a very short period of time, and we're giving that to our kids, right? So they may be growing all kinds of stuff. Height, weight, things on their face, issues and diseases that we, are not sure exactly where they're coming from. But if you don't want it in your body, and you definitely don't want to put something like this to grow things. So I want to talk a little bit about some protein myths, real quick. And the first one is that you need animal protein to build muscle. Is that true or false? Obviously, because we already know it, all right? So I've been doing it for a while, and these guys up on the screen have been doing it. These dudes have been doing it over there. The second one is that plant proteins are not complete proteins. So that's a big myth, okay? Plant proteins aren't complete proteins. And when you look at that statement, you look at it and you say, well, if I want to go plant-based and I want to exercise and I need complete protein to build muscle, or I need to build complete protein to be fit, then this is going to make me nervous, because then I'm going to have to combine stuff and go get some beans and rice and put them together. And what if I don't get all the essential amino acids? Well, that's also a myth. So what is protein? Just real quickly, the basics. And this information is going to give you guys some fuel for conversation. It's going to give you guys a way to answer questions that you might not know the answer to. So protein is basically structural components. It helps build muscle, hair, skin, and so forth. It helps make antibodies, enzymes, hormones, and so forth. So proteins have a lot of purposes. There's 20 amino acids, and amino acids basically make up protein. Amino acids in long chains make up the protein that makes our body, makes our tissues, makes our enzymes, hormones, and so on. 8 to 9 of these essential amino acids, depending on who you ask, are only found in food. The word essential with regards to food means you have to eat them You have to get them in your diet. The rest are made by your body. So can you get all of these essential amino acids in plants? Well, yeah. Plants are the mother source of all essential amino acids. Plants make essential amino acids. Okay? We make the rest. So, for instance, this is the food chain. Let's say that a cow eats the grass. The grass has the amino acids. The grass goes into the cow. Well, in most places it's grain now. But they all have all the amino acids too. So the amino acids go into the body. The cow eats those, and then the cow's body puts those chains of amino acids together and forms the protein of that animal. Okay? And then the human eats the protein of that animal, which was built for that animal. So the human still has to deconstruct it and then put the protein together for our own body's use. The vegans or the plant-based athletes go directly to the source. So they're eating broccoli and spinach and kale and beans and rice and all kinds of other legumes, and they're getting the essential amino acids directly from the plants. Okay? So in my opinion, it's more efficient for the person to go straight to the source than have to go through another animal's body to get that nutrition. What's the catch, though? Animal products, they are higher in protein. They're higher in calories, which makes it easier to build and gain weight. Plants, lower in protein, lower in calories, and I'm talking about per serving size, which means it's easier to lose weight, which is a dream for some people. On a plant-based diet, what we have to do basically is simply increase the amount of calories that we eat. And by increasing the amount of calories that we eat, we increase the amount of protein that we eat. And that we need to do that and able to gain weight or muscle consistently. But, caveat, animal products contain saturated animal fat, cholesterol, environmental toxins, growth hormones, stress hormones, bacteria, and it's harder to stay healthy that way. Why do they contain stress hormones? Anyone? Cortisol. Yeah, these animals are under some serious stress on a regular basis. I'm not talking about the ones that are off in the farms grazing, in the grass, but they reach their high stress moment at the end. But most of the animals that people consume are under a tremendous amount of stress. And you know what happens to us when we're stressed out? We got exams coming, we got a game coming, we get stressed out, we get sick. Okay, it makes us sick. Imagine being stressed out like that your entire life, day in and day out, 24 hours a day. So that's why it contains stress hormones. So we're eating that stuff. Animal products do not contain fiber, phytonutrients, very few antioxidants or carbohydrates, so it's harder to stay healthy. It's a high price to pay for some protein. So plants contain protein, antioxidants, phytochemicals. More than 25,000 phytochemicals exist in plant foods. These are protective and disease-preventing chemicals. They contain carbohydrates and fiber, which is one of the reasons why my constipation cleared up really fast after going plant-based. But plant proteins are incomplete, right? Well, we already discussed that they're not. It's a big myth perpetuated to make you think that animal protein is superior and necessary. Historically, it was, right, for survival. But in a thriving country, first world country, where we have everything that we need, all the food that we need, we don't need it anymore for survival. So it's definitely not needed for thriving. So there's no such thing as an incomplete protein. Now, is anybody familiar with Chronometer.com? Chronometer is one of the world's leading food nutrition logging sites that you put your food in and it tells you what's in your food. And when I discovered this, I was like, oh my God, I'm free. Because every food that I entered into this thing showed me that it was a complete protein. So if you look here, I put in edamame into the chart, and all of these things down here, all of these are essential amino acids. A couple of them are conditionally essential, meaning if you're under serious stress, you're going to need some other amino acids, but most of them are the essential amino acids. So edamame, who's familiar with edamame? You go to a Japanese restaurant, you get the edamame. I eat them all the time. They're one of my favorite foods. You can see here down the list, all the essential amino acids are present. Refried beans, I eat them all the time with my tacos and tostadas, and I sometimes just eat them out of the can sometimes. Yes, I do out of cans occasionally. You can see that all the essential amino acids are there, okay? So now we're getting into some vegetables. Anything that you put into this system, it will show you that all of the essential amino acids are there. So we've got broccoli, all the essential amino acids are there. We've got spinach, all the essential amino acids are there. And the next one I did just for fun, lemons, right? Do lemons have protein? Yes, of course they do. Every food item that's a whole food has protein in it. I put 10 lemons in there so it would kind of show up on the screen, but you can see that all the essential amino acids are there. So if you eat 100 lemons a day, you're set. So my training style, how was I able to put on 15 pounds of muscle in 5 months? Well, my intensity, because of my issues, got better. My inflammation went away. My joints started to feel better. I changed my intensity from low to high intensity. I hit all the muscle groups at least twice a week, like that. At least twice a week. I work out about 1.5 hours each session, 6 days a week. And I eat enough calories. I make sure that I eat enough calories, about 3,000 a day, and that I get enough protein to fulfill the needs of my body, to take care of the damage that training does to the body, because that training that hard has a damaging effect, and if you don't feed it right, if you don't feed the body the proper nutrition, you will end up getting more damage than growth. And I change my routine regularly. Has anybody been here been working out for a while? I know you have. You have. Are any of you have the same program that you had 6 months ago? Is it the same thing? You've been doing kind of basically the same thing for the past 6 months or so? If you have a program, your body's a fantastic adaptive machine. If you don't change up your program, you're going to get to a certain level of fitness and you're going to stay right there. And if you want to keep growing, if you want to keep becoming more and more fit, you have to change your routine up roughly around every 3 to 4 weeks. I do it every couple of weeks until I came to a point where my training has become intuitive, where I go into the gym and I'm like, what do I want to do today? I've got 6 different styles of training that I can do. Drop sets, supersets, pyramid sets, 10 by 10s, German volume training, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, sometimes I just do a big mishmash of it all, depending on how I feel. And lately I've been going heavy. So I change my routine regularly. So that's been really, really important. So for the guys that are going plant-based, and this is your first day and a half, there are some amazing sources of plant protein out there. Edamame is one of my favorite. Lentils is incredible. All the different kinds of beans and legumes you could think of. Anybody familiar with tempeh in here? I'm sure everybody is. Tempeh and tofu. Tempeh is really versatile. You can do a lot of stuff with it, crumble it up and things, season it up really well. Loaded with protein. I mean, you get a block of tempeh at the store, 40 grams of protein in that thing. You get a block of extra firm tofu, 35, 40 grams of protein in that thing. The softer tofus have a little bit less. But these are great sources of plant protein. My favorite vegan meals, these are some of them. And all of these pictures that I'm going to show you right now came from my own house. They went all through my digestive tract. I ate all these things and make all these things. They're in some of my videos and so forth. We got pancakes with no eggs and no dairy. We've got the blackened tempeh tostadas with all kinds of fresh vegetables and salsa on there. So good. I just did a video a couple days ago on meatless meatballs, vegan meatballs. You probably saw it. It's just amazing. I mean, on that plate right there, 40 grams of protein, easy. I mean, the whole wheat pasta's got probably 10. And then I made these balls with seitan, which is wheat protein, which is seasoned wheat protein. It's really delicious. If you're gluten sensitive, stay away from it, or if you have celiac. Anyway, the next one is brown rice with mushrooms and tofu, a little bit of that seitan, and some Brussels sprouts with some soy sauce, and the tofu scramble. People that are worried about giving up eggs, if you want that consistency, you want something that's very similar, that's high in protein without the cholesterol and all that stuff that comes with eggs and saturated animal fat, then you've got tofu scramble. So fear of the unknown, it will immobilize you. It will limit you and prevent you from reaching your goals. So first of all, I want to commend you guys for taking this challenge on. It's really incredible because you might take it lightly and for fun, but it's really pretty incredible what you're doing. But a lot of people are afraid to do it, and they will immobilize themselves, and they won't really allow themselves to come into a new way of living. But knowledge, and I want to talk about knowledge just for a second. What kind of knowledge am I talking about? Well, more like the biblical kind of knowledge, not sexual knowledge, but the biblical kind where you do something, you learn something, you do something, it becomes a part of you. You know it because you do it. You're in it. It's part of you. That's the kind of knowledge. So learning about this is kind of like mental knowledge. Knowing it means you've been doing it for a while. It's become a part of you. That brings understanding. It brings confidence. and it brings you into a new life. Anybody familiar with the sliding door theory, the sliding door thing? You're going on a certain path, right? And you have a turning point, which you guys are at right now. You're at a turning point, and you make this turn, and your life goes like this, right? You were going like this, and you made a turning point, and now your life is going like this, and it opens you up to a whole new life. These kind of decisions give you a new life. And to me, there's nothing more exciting than that. They say that life is an adventure. Well, it is when you make decisions like this. So it's very exciting. So I want to thank you guys for bringing me over here. Eli Zisman, thank you so much for bringing it. And the piece at UC Davis for setting this up. I'm privileged to be able to speak in front of you today. You can follow me on YouTube at Guilt Free TV. You can follow me on Instagram at Guilt Free TV, Facebook Guilt Free TV. And I'm giving you guys, the guys that are doing this challenge, if any of you are serious enough and you take this on and you want to do it for more than one week, if something touches you and you want to actually continue on this journey, you can take one of my cards up here. You can contact me via email, and I'll give you a free 30-minute consultation about anything you want. Food, recipes, bodybuilding, training, whatever. We can talk and hash some stuff out. So thank you guys for listening through that. I hope you learned something, and I'm going to hand the stage over to the Vegan Bros.